So during the pandemic, we thought the lockdown was gonna last like, you know, like maybe 14 days or whatever. I thought the gym was gonna open right back up. But right before it closed, I went to the gym and did like insane amount of volume. So little did I know that it lasted for like almost a year for us. And I had access to weights in the beginning, very low weights because of my friend Jonathan. Even that access went away eventually, so I had to like improvise a lot. So during that time period, I basically focused a lot more on mobility, like learning cool like leg movements and still dancing a lot and still jumping and sprinting. I was able to maintain most of my strength, but I did need some weight. So in this clip, this is when I had access to weights. I was basically just doing a lot of single leg stuff. That's like about 70 pounds. It was a good amount of stimulation. It was a good test of my stability. I was also doing a lot of ballet at this time, so I was learning this movement, the dragon pistol squat, which is not a ballet movement, but I just thought it would translate well through all the skills I've been learning. It was a lot of fun to learn this. Another thing I focused on religiously was a pancake. And my friend took a picture of this, thankfully. And of course the splits, which is probably the thumbnail of this video anyway. And these I would train twice a week now instead of once a week. And I improved a lot. By August, I pretty much considered this gone. So here's my warm-up. Start out with jump roping. I do a lot of like those ballet like entrechat, what it's called, to keep the tendons moving and whatever. I did this maybe 4 times a week. I don't know if that's the healthiest thing for your tendons, but I just needed to do some volume because I felt like I wasn't getting that explosive energy. And this is my leg warm-up. I do a lot of like front kicks, side kicks, circles like the crescent kicks, outside and inside, some kickboxing kicks like the knee raises. This is the full body version of it. I do roundhouse kicks, some spins, some checks, some knees, and some crescent kicks again. I did this every day, twice a day pretty much, to keep that active mobility going. Out of all the strength exercises, this was probably the hardest one, which is the Nordic hamstring curl. And I've been doing this for years. So this is the one that I basically relied on for keeping my strength gains up. I worked on this a lot. And even then it didn't improve that much. But I could go down for about 10 seconds pretty slowly with straight body alignment. Here's the second set of this. I did about 5 sets with 10 seconds coming down. And if I failed, I'll just restart and try again, you know, until I get to the 10 seconds total. Another thing I did was I went to Home Depot and just bought these 50-pound sandbags. They cost me about like $5 each. So it was really $10. I put it all in a laundry bag. I stuffed it in clothes and I taped it around it. And I put it in another bag and I zipped that up and I basically used it as weights. And it was pretty heavy. It's much more heavy than a regular 100 pounds because the grip is so hard. 4 months into the lockdown at this point, so I was just doing like anything I could possibly to figure out how to train my legs. And the gyms were still not open in New York City. So here I do some single-legged Bulgarian split squats, elevated, and I did like 12 reps. I almost got everything at 12 reps all the time. And I repeated for 4 rounds in each side. Here's a different angle. It was hard for stability, and the couch is not that stable either, but it gets the job done, you know. It is what it is. You have to improvise a lot. And here I do my deadlift variations. It was hard to do single-legged ones with this grip, so I had to do this basically. It's almost like a stone lift for a strongman, but it really is supposed to be a deadlift mimicking thing. And yeah, it kept my strength gains up for the most part. It was really hard to hold that bag, like really hard. Like, look how much I was struggling. And I would always end it with 12 reps of single-leg hip thrust. But it was, as you can see, it's like extremely difficult to even put the bag up there. I'm like struggling a lot. Eventually I get it up there and I just do 12 reps and I rest for 3 minutes and repeat it for 3 sets. Actually, my legs were actually bigger in these pictures than it is now, and I still use weights, but it was just less explosive and I had to do a lot more volume. I was also regularly jumping and sprinting. I was able to maintain this level of vertical, although it was a little bit lower than what it usually used to be, but that's okay. Like, you do what you can. I also started getting into a lot of like knees over toes stuff. I wanted to experiment with different things I could do. I was jumping different ways. Like, I learned this little skill. So then, like I said, like after that, it was still on a lockdown for a while. I ended up buying weights and just doing like a lot of single leg variations. And that turned out to be very beneficial for the things I do for tricking and for dancing. So it worked out well, I think.